Alright. So I invite everybody to get into just a comfortable seated position, or you can lay down if you prefer that, whatever you want to do. And we're just going to take a moment to tune into our breath, tune into our bodies. So if you want to close your eyes, you're welcome to, or you can just rest your gaze. And then start noticing the sensation of breathing. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit on your shins, or again, lay down if that's comfortable. Or with your legs extended, whatever feels good. Tuning into the breath and the sensations of the breath at the nostrils, as the breath moves into the windpipe, as the breath moves into the lungs, the exhales as well, that release from the lungs through the windpipe at the nose. And then noticing a little deeper the exchange. Perhaps you can sense the exchange of oxygen in the bloodstream. When you inhale, the oxygen moves from your lungs into your blood and moves out through your muscles and cells, and then releases carbon dioxide as you exhale, getting rid of things you don't need from your body. And notice where your mind is going. If it is with the breath, if it's somewhere else, if it's thinking about a task or whatever, and just notice. And as soon as you notice where it's at, look at it, look at where your mind is, and then drop back into the breath this next moment, right now. And on your next few exhales, if you like, perhaps engage your pelvis and let your pelvic muscles lift up toward your head on your exhales, like a geyser coming from the earth, shooting water up to the sky, and then relaxing all the rest of your muscles down like the water is falling back down to the earth. Your inhales, just softening that, just drawing that breath in, exhaling, feeling that geyser. Again, if that visual is nice for you, if it feels connected, activating. And then on your next exhale, when you activate the pelvis, go ahead and imagine energy going out to your fingertips and your toes. Inhaling, softening, just feeling expansive and loose. And on your next exhale, feeling that energy activate you, flowing out to your fingers and toes again, as well as engaging the core. And one more breath when you're ready like that. And maybe that activation starts to move your fingers and toes a little bit. And then on that inhale, maybe feeling the rest of your body starting to feel a little loose, maybe moving just a little bit in some way that might feel nice to you, little movements. And then when you're ready, slowly drawing your arms in, and maybe giving yourself a little hug. Crossing your arms, reaching for your back. If you're sitting up, let your chin drop toward your chest. And then letting the arms melt out of that, bringing your crown up, your chin up if you are sitting upward. Inhaling, sending your arms out to the side, whether you're along the ground or sitting up. And then exhaling, softening. And then moving your shoulders, moving your body, stretching in any way that might feel nice right now. And then we'll meet up, eventually making our way up to hands and knees together. So once you're in hands and knees, bringing your hands right under your shoulders and your knees right under your hips. So most of your weight is really on your knees. And then exhaling, dropping the crown of the head, dropping your tailbone toward the ground, pulling your belly up toward the sky, and feeling that belly side of your spine get really nice and long. Lengthening through each of the vertebrae on the belly side of your spine. Breathing in and out. Just noticing what places you can soften even more. What places might be engaged that don't need to be engaged. See what happens if you soften some of those places. And then the next time you inhale, maybe your tailbone starts to lift up and your spine reaches, your head reaches away from your tailbone and the crown of your head comes up toward the sky. Feeling lots of space between those vertebrae again, this time noticing especially the back side of your spine. And then on your next few breaths, exhaling, letting your tailbone and your crown start to lengthen away from each other and rounding into what we'll call a cat tilt. And inhaling, lifting the tailbone and the crown of the head, lengthening into what we'll call a dog tilt. Moving between those two shapes. Exhaling, rounding, cat tilt. Inhaling, lengthening, dog, lifting, dog tilt. Just taking a few breaths to move in a speed at a pace that works for your body. No need to be faster or slower than what feels natural to you. Consciously natural. And then when you're ready, rounding into that cat tilt and then shifting your weight over to your right knee, draw your left knee in toward your chest. And then when you're ready, inhale, lengthen that leg behind you. And we'll just do a couple of those with the breath. Exhaling, curling, pulling the belly toward the sky, engaging the pelvis toward your crown. On your exhales, you'll draw in, curl up. On your inhales, you'll extend. And if you'd like this to be a little more of a balancing pose, you're welcome to lift your right arm and extend that in front of you. And then curl it in when you curl your left knee in. And the next time that you inhale and you lengthen that leg, go ahead and lift that arm if you haven't lifted the arm. Reaching opposite. And then bring the hand back down, bring the toes down, and then slide the foot out to the side. Just see how that feels. And you can widen your arms. You can come onto your fists if your wrists are feeling sensitive. And then bend that knee, shifting your weight toward that foot that's extended out to the side, and then lengthen the leg, coming back in. Following your breath, go ahead and give an exhale as you bend the knee. Inhale as you lengthen. And one more. Pausing, maybe taking an extra breath when you bend your knee and lean over toward that side. And then lengthening the leg, and bringing that foot between your hands, making your way into a little lunge, however you need to get there. And from here, making sure that your knee is directly over your ankle directly under your knee. Go ahead, if it feels okay, to lift your back knee and lengthen into a lunge. Try not to send your knee past your ankle. You can keep your hands down here, or if you'd like to walk your hands up to your knee and bring your torso up, you're welcome to do that. If your feet seems like your back foot needs to come closer, you can bring it closer, or if you're good with that far extension, you can stay there. And then we'll just bring our arms up to the sky. Inhaling, exhale, lengthen that front leg as you bring your hands downward. So this is a balancing pose, flow with our breath. Inhaling into the lunge, arms up, exhaling, lowering the hands, lengthening the leg. We'll just do 2 more of those. Your knee is bent. Go ahead and pause there a moment and maybe even engage that back glute and then rotate your belly toward that front leg, reaching your arms in opposite directions. And then bring your hands down toward that front knee, rotate your belly back and bring your hand all the way down to the ground again. And then if that's your left knee forward, then bring your left arm up to the sky. So you're revolving toward that front knee. And then exhale, lengthen the leg. It doesn't have to get all the way straight. Inhale, bend it. Exhale, lengthen, and inhale, bend. And we'll just do that one more time if that feels okay. Just coming to an edge, a little bit of a stretching edge. And then that lifted arm, let it circle around. Big circle until it comes back to the ground, and you can drop that back knee and then lengthen, exhaling, bending, inhaling. And then the next time that you come back, go ahead and pause there a moment. You want to point and flex your foot. And then slide your foot next to the other, bringing the knees together. And then from there, exhale, round, inhale, arch. We're moving between that cat and dog tilt because we're going to do the other side. And then the next time that you exhale, go ahead and round and shift your way over to that left knee. Curl the right knee in. Inhaling, extending, exhaling, curling. If you'd like to bring your arm into the motion, extending that opposite arm. When you extend the leg, exhaling, curling it in. So your left arm would extend when your right leg extends. And you exhale, bring them toward each other. If you decide to do that. And then the next time you inhale, go ahead and pause there, extending through the body. And then go ahead and bring the hands down, bring the toes down, and use your belly, your core muscles, to bring the leg out to the side. And then adjust your hands and however you need. If you want to come to fists, you can, making your arms a little wider so you have support. And then when you're ready, exhale, bend that knee, and inhale, lengthen. Moving at a speed that works for your body with the breath. Might be different than what I'm doing. Might be different than anybody else. But just listening into your body. And then pausing the next time you come to that bent knee position. Pausing there for just a moment. Breathing. And then lengthening the leg when you're ready. And bring the foot in between your hands for the lunge. Getting your shoulders loose, rolling your shoulders a little bit, getting your knee right over that ankle. And then when you're ready to lift that back knee, go ahead and lift that back knee. You're welcome to stay here if you prefer, or if you want to come up. It seemed like everybody did that last time, but feel into your body. Coming up, and bring the arms up. Inhale, lengthen, bringing the hands down. Exhaling, bending that knee, arms up, flowing with your breath, moving at a speed that works for your body. We're working the hips towards square to front. You can be on your toes on that back foot, or you can have your heel down at a 45-degree angle, whatever is most comfortable for your body. Just do one more of those. When you're ready, pausing with the arms up, shoulders soft, jaw soft, and then go ahead and rotate your belly toward that front leg so you can reach your arms in the opposite direction. Your left arm reaching forward, your right arm reaching back. And soften the shoulders, let the arms come back to center as your belly rotates back to center. And then go ahead and lift that tailbone, dropping your spine downward, maybe deepening the lunge again if it feels good. And then opening your right arm up toward the ceiling, left arm on the ground. Exhaling, lengthening the leg when you're ready, and inhaling, bending. We're just going to do that a couple of times, finding some space, finding some length in the arms, letting the belly be active, the pelvis be active to support the structure of the shape. And then the next time you bend your knee, go ahead and bring your hands down. Drop that back knee. And we'll lengthen the front leg and move forward and back with the breath again. Often inhaling into the lunge and exhaling into the fold extended leg. It works usually better for most people's bodies, but you feel into what's working better for you. And then when you're ready, let yourself pause in that fold with the leg extended for just a moment, softening in the neck and shoulders. And then use your belly muscles to bring that knee back next to the other one. And we'll walk our hands forward, widen the knees, and bring the feet together. And then if it feels okay to drop the hips back for a devotional wisdom pose, modified child's pose. Taking a couple of nice, releasing, relaxing breaths here. Noticing on your inhale places where your breath expands, places that might even have some tension as you breathe in. And see if you can let your breath sort of massage that space, imagining your breath massaging that place And then on the exhale, loosening any of that tension that can loosen. And then without tightening anything, keeping everything soft, just activate your pelvis. Imagining that this time you have a waterfall from your tailbone flowing along the front side of your spine and down into a pool at the crown of your head. And then if you'd like to, you can go ahead and bring your hands up to little spider hands, pressing the fingertips into the ground, lifting your arms off the ground. And then slide your right arm in and go ahead and reach it underneath your left arm for a very gentle little threading of the needle. Notice your neck and your jaw and the space behind your ears. Just breathe into those places. See if you can find some extra softness there. And then activating the belly, activating the pelvis, but keeping everything else soft, except for also the left hand pressing into the ground. Slide your arm out and extend it alongside the other. And then soften for just one nice deep breath. And on your next exhale, activate those hands again into spider hands. Draw the other arm down and reach it through to thread the needle the other direction. Breathing nice and deep and seeing where you can find some softness. Feeling the stretch from the center of the spine, not just in the arm and shoulder. And when you're ready, activating that hand, sliding the arm out, bringing the arms together, palms flat this time, fingers wide, engage your glutes and round your spine as you bring your hips up. Walk your knees close and tuck your toes to send your hips up to a down dog. And you can walk your heels out, you can sway your hips one side and then the other. Ready, if it feels okay for you to walk your feet toward your hands or your hands toward your feet, or just make your way into a fold however you need to do it. And you can bring your hands just wherever feels okay. Bend your knees as deeply as you need to be able to let your spine hang. And then engage your glutes, press your feet into the ground, and slowly roll up, stacking those vertebrae one on top of the other. When you come to standing, go ahead and sweep your arms in a big circle, reaching up to the sky. And then exhale, bring the hands around to the heart. Let's go ahead and press the feet into the ground, sweep the arms up one more time. And then sweep one hand down to the waistline. You can bring it to the waist or the hip or just alongside the leg, whatever works better for you. Bend the knees ever so slightly and tuck the pelvis. Engage your glutes and then reach over to that side. Shoulders are both soft, jaw soft, pushing your feet into the ground. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, use your belly to bring your torso back upright. Let that arm sweep around and let it go in a nice big circle all the way around again until it finds its place next where on the other side. And we'll switch the arm, sending the other arm up to the sky, pressing the feet firmly. Tuck the pelvis, bend the knees ever so slightly, and then when you're ready, reaching over. Breathing in and out, especially on those exhales, feeling your feet sink into the earth, and sometimes that helps your spine feel like it's reaching out of your heels. One more breath, and on your exhale, use your belly to bring your torso up again, and let that arm come around, and then one more time in a nice big circle. And then let's bring our hands to our shoulders. We're gonna bend the knees so you get a little bounce and engage the belly so that we can keep our backs safe. And then exhale, looking over your shoulder as far as you can and twisting, but not twisting your hips, just twisting your waist and your shoulders. And then going to the other side. So looking over one, inhale, center, exhale to the other side. This is a little bit of a core workout if you do it slow. Time to each side until you feel even. And we'll come back to center, bring the hands around and do a couple of quick circles. You can hold your shoulders or you can do straight arm circles, whatever feels good to you. And the next time your arms are in front, go ahead and reach them out, crossing them nice and wide, and give yourself another hug. Bend your knees, roll your shoulders down your back. And then shift your weight over to one side and take this side that you took your weight off of across your leg. You can keep the toes on the ground, or you can lift the toes off for a little eagle pose. Bending your standing leg if that feels okay to your body. And then when you're ready to inhale, we'll inhale, and on our next inhale, we'll open our arms and our legs nice and wide. Exhaling, inhaling wide, soaring like a bird as a modified eagle pose. And then land back down, bending the knees, bring the hands to the heart, and send the arms up to the sky for chair pose. Bending those knees, sinking onto a tall stool. And then go ahead and stand up straight, let your arms circle around, and bring them to the heart again. And then if you remember which way you were circling your arms, try. It doesn't matter if you don't, but see if you can circle in the opposite direction. And we'll just do that a few times. And then the next time, your arms come out in front of you, crossed, opposite arm on top if you remember which one you had on top last time. And then reach your arms around for that hug, roll the shoulders down the back, let the elbows relax, and then sit down like you're sitting on a tall stool. Belly is just softly brought in, and then gently shift your weight over to the other side, the side you didn't have your weight on yet. And then take the other leg over and across and bring the toes to the ground if you want, or you can reach them toward the calf of that standing leg. And you can bend that standing leg, or you can keep it straighter if you prefer, if that's not good for your knee to bend it. And then taking a couple more breaths, and we're going to work toward an inhale where we soar again. One more. Inhale and soar. And then land, bent knees, bringing the hands to the heart, and then press your feet into the ground with the knees bent if that's okay for your body till your arms come up to the sky. Shoulders soft, jaw soft. Chair pose. And on your next exhale, lengthen your body, lift your heart. If you want to look up to the sky, go ahead and do so. For a very gentle back bend, tucking your pelvis, pulling your belly in toward your spine. And then sweep the arms in a big T shape, and we'll lift that tailbone, bend the knees, And just drop our heart down toward the ground for a swan dive, letting the crown of the head release toward the ground, knees as bent as they need to have this feel good on the spine. And then exhale, lengthen the legs to your edge, whatever that is for you. And then bending the knees, press the feet into the ground and pull the belly in to roll up again. Arms to the sky when you're ready. And then arms out to the side. Go ahead and step the feet wide. From here, bend the knees like you're sitting on a tall stool, and then we'll swan dive again forward, bringing the hands down to wherever feels good. And often you can reach just a little bit further with your legs wide. And then when you're ready, shift your weight over to one side, bring both hands to that side. And then if it feels good to lengthen that side you're reaching toward, your hands can be up closer to your shin, up high closer to your knee, or they can be down by your ankle. But when you're ready, lengthen that leg you're holding for a nice stretch. Hopefully it's nice. And then bend that knee. And then we're just going to exhale, lengthen the leg, inhale, bend it. So getting a little bit of opening in that other hip also. Hopefully, if it feels okay to drop your crown of your head down toward the ground to give you some looseness in the neck and shoulders. Then do that. And we'll do one more like this. On your next exhale, keeping the leg long. And then bending both knees, bringing hands to both feet, and then lengthen. And then bend the knees again, bring the hands over to the other side. And lengthening the leg that you're not holding on to, bending the one that you are. And then when you're ready to flow with your breath, exhaling, lengthening the leg to your edge, inhaling, bending that leg. Just going to whatever your edge is, listening into your body, getting connected to your breath and your motion. And when you're ready, one more like that. And pausing with the leg toward long. And then when you're ready, bend that knee. Bend the other side, reach for both ankles and just sway side to side. And then come to center with your knees bent. Bring your hands up to your thighs. Maybe your elbows to your thighs, maybe your hands, whatever feels good to you. And then do a little twist. Just exhaling, twisting at the waist. And then inhale to center and exhale to the other side. And then back to center. Walk your hands in, bring your torso upright. Bring the arms to the sky. And let's heel toe our feet closer. That can be really nice for working the inner thigh. Let's do one more balancing pose. Go ahead and step one foot forward, step the other foot back. We're not going to go very far back, but kind of like we did before with our warrior ones. Inhaling up, but this time we're going to sweep our arms out and come to a flat back. And then inhale up, and exhale, flat back. And let's do that one more time like that, and then we're going to add the leg. And this time, inhaling up. When you're ready, sweep to that flat back, and if you want to lift that back leg off the ground, even if it's just a tiny bit, lengthening that front leg, you're welcome to. Then bring it back down and come up, inhaling, and exhaling back into your airplane. Warrior 3, foot back to the ground for your this is a warrior one, warrior two flow. And we'll do one more into warrior one when you're ready. And then open to the side. Whichever direction you're facing, it doesn't matter. For a warrior two. And then lengthen that front leg. Reach your arm toward reach the same side arm toward that front leg, and then let it come down. Bring the other arm up. It can come just to your shin, it can come to your thigh, it can come to your ankle, whatever gives you space but doesn't push too hard and allows you to still be open, like you're between two panes of glass. And then let that lifted arm reach behind you and just rest on your back, while your chest stays broad and your spine reaches out of your back foot. On your next exhale, bend that front knee. Take that hand that's on your back and reach it toward that back foot to bring your torso up. Reach back. Dancing warrior. And then melt that lifted arm out of that. And we'll just rotate our feet and walk them together. This is working our inner thighs. We're bringing our feet inward. And then we'll just do that on the other side. So going ahead and rotating the other direction, putting the other foot forward. Bending that front knee. Bring the arms up. Inhale. And then exhale to our swan dive, flat back. Sweep the arms up, inhaling. And exhale to that flat back. And one more time before we add the legs. And this time, if you'd like to shift your weight onto that front leg and lengthen it, lifting your back leg, you can. Dropping the foot back down as you come up. Exhaling forward again. Feeling your core reach up toward your head to support this structure, to lighten and loosen some of the other muscles so that they don't need to be working so hard. Two more like this. Coming into that warrior one, and then opening out into our warrior two. Take a breath, soften the shoulders, draw the belly in and up, and then lengthen that front leg, reach out toward it. Maybe you're just reaching to your thigh, maybe all the way down to your shin, maybe your ankle. Feeling your belly spiral up toward the sky and your shoulders and your chest follow along. And then when you're ready, bend that front knee, reach this arm behind you. And then reach that hand toward that back foot, pulling yourself up, letting the other arm come up to the sky. And then coming back to center. Warrior two, lengthen the leg, parallel your feet. And then if you want to hop or walk your feet in, whatever feels good to you right now. And then inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back, and fold when you're ready. And then whatever you want to do to get down to the ground, go ahead and make your way, however you need to get there. So go ahead and send one leg out to the side, one foot in. And then bringing one hand behind you. So let's say that your left leg is extended and your right leg is in and your right hand is behind you. It might be the opposite, but that gives you a sense of which side is which. So then when you're ready, you're going to take the leg that's extended, that arm, and sweep it up, and opening, tucking the pelvis for a modified stargazer. Taking a nice big inhale. And then the next time you exhale, circling the hands down and around, bringing the hips back down, and then reaching toward that extended leg. Take an extra breath here. And then on your next exhale, sweep around and come up. And then last time coming down and sweeping around for that extended leg. And then bringing the torso upright. Go ahead and bring this other leg out. And just reaching forward, sitting up tall. And then draw that other leg in. Bring the other hand behind you. And we'll sweep up. And we'll just pause here, an extra breath. And then when you're ready, sweep down and around for that extended leg. Take an extra breath here. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and come back up. And then just making your way back down. As you exhale, that feels good. Folding. And then coming up, extending that leg again. A gentle fold forward. Maybe it's more like sitting straight up. That's okay. And then when you're ready, release. Bringing your knees in, supporting your legs and coming in, and then finding yourself in the center of your mat. And then roll down partway, holding behind your legs, just stretching through your back. Press your belly down toward the mat. And then bring one knee in and then the other, curling up. And then inhaling, if it feels okay, extend the legs, bring the head down, and then exhale, curl up, bringing the knees in. We're just going to do that a couple more times. The core muscles are so important for everything in our body. Bringing the curling back up, finding some space in the back. Send the legs up one last time. And this time, let them pause there with the head on the ground and let one leg go down to the ground and just hold where you can on the back of this leg, whether it is on the back of the thigh, whether it's on the back of the calf, whatever is feeling good to you. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw soften, and then point and flex and rotate that ankle that's lifted and go the other direction. And then when you're ready, press the foot that's on the ground into the ground and roll up toward this leg. And then release back down. And then let that leg cross the ankle onto the other thigh. And just rest there a moment. Release that foot. Bring the other knee in. Go ahead and send that leg up straight, holding wherever is nice, comfortable, gives you a good stretch, but doesn't go past your edge. And then when you're ready, curling up toward that leg. And then rolling back down. And go ahead and flex and point and rotate the ankle. Softening through your arms and shoulders. Your arms are just weights. They're not gripping. And then when you're ready, go ahead and rotate that ankle, letting go of the leg and bringing the ankle to the thigh on the other side. ankle, bringing the feet to the ground. Go ahead and bring the arms out to the side. Let the feet go wide and let the knees come together for a moment. And then let the knees both fall over to one side, a little twist. And then pull the belly to the ground, bringing the knees back together, and then let them go to the other side. Pulling the belly back to the ground, knees together. One more time to each side. And anything you want to do to make this a little deeper, you're welcome to. And back to center. And then over to the other side. And then when you're ready, back to center. And you can stay here, you can adjust your arms, you can extend your legs. We're going to move into a Shavasana, just a short breathing pose. And this final resting pose, it's really the most important pose in class because it gives us a moment to tune in and have our body be really restful, ideally. And after all the other stretching, it gives us space for us to be in reset mode. Just resetting our alignment, resetting our muscles, resetting our mind, resetting our breath. Tuning into the breath, feeling that inhale and the exhale, the muscles softening to let the breath flow out, the muscles softening to let the breath flow in. And the mind, see if you can bring the mind very present to the breath, noticing those sensations and staying close by. Anytime a thought comes into your mind and starts to carry you away, it's okay. As soon as you notice that's happening, then take a moment to be present and really conscious of that thought. And then when it feels nice and right, draw back to the breath, to the exhale, or the inhale that is next. Maybe imagining your legs, your ankles, your calves all just sinking into the earth, your feet sinking into the earth, the thighs and the hips and the belly just releasing down. The back and the ribs softening to the ground. The hands, the forearms, the elbows all releasing downward. The upper arm and the shoulders and the chest softening into the earth. The throat and the jaw and face all relaxing. The scalp relaxing. And then the whole head and neck and shoulders relaxing. Or just noticing it, and on your exhale, see if you can relax with that outward breath. And then letting that expand from the head and shoulders and neck into the belly and the back and the whole torso. Exhaling and body all soften with the exhale together. And then just breathing these last few moments, being present to your breath. And maybe feeling your breath start to move out through your body in a way that starts to activate you again. Or if you want to take one more very restful moment before you begin imagining activation. And when you're ready, very consciously, let that activation ripple out and move your body softly and slowly in whatever way feels good to you. Moving your hands and feet, or moving your arms and your knees. Maybe stretching like you're waking up from a nice nap. Whatever feels good. And then one more breath of stillness. Exhaling and inhaling. And on your next exhale, slowly make your way out of your Shavasana, resting pose. Taking your time, moving up to a seated position. And we'll slide our hands to our hearts, rooting through our sit bones, letting our shoulders roll a little bit, the crown of our heads reaching up to the sky. And then let's all just do one tone together to activate our voices, because sound is really healing. It can help heal ourselves. So it can be whatever sound. We're going to do an a, o, an om sound. But it can be whatever tone. It can be dissonant or harmonious with each other. Just whatever comes out. Feel it erupting up from the earth through your belly, and then flow out your throat on your next exhale. And then next breath in and out. Thank you all so much. Namaste. May we know peace in our hearts, minds, and bodies. And may the work of our hands and the words that we speak spread peace in the world too, for the benefit of all. Thank you. Hope you all have a lovely week. Lovely evening.